Yes, ex-Arsenal, FIFA legend, CAF legend, former captain of Nigerian Super Eagles, one of a kind. Yeah, 5th of May.
Hi, Shaka Hislop here. Just wanted to tell Grenada football fans that I'm coming back to Grenada at long last. The Grenada Football Association has invited me to take part in the Legends game, 5th of May, Kirani James National Stadium, 6:30 kickoff. It's a great opportunity for me to put the gloves back on, to come celebrate all that the GFA has given to football, not just locally in Grenada, but regionally in the Caribbean.
Hello guys, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Alassandou, an international former player from Senegal. Just want to announce you that the Grenada Football Association has invited me to be part of this legend camp. It's going to be the 5th of May in Grenada, just to celebrate the 100th anniversary of this big federation. So guys, be ready, I will be there.
Hi, I'm Brent Sancho, former Trinidad and Tobago World Cup defender. And on May 5th, I'll be joining the rest of the Legends cast that will be partaking in the 100-year anniversary for Grenada football. Can't wait to join everyone at the Kirani James Stadium on May 5th. Looking forward to seeing you.
Hi guys, I am Alex Song, ex-international Cameroon player, play for Arsenal, play for Barcelona, play for West Ham. Just to announce you guys, I will be in Grenada on 5th of May to celebrate the 100th year of the GFA with some legend players. See you very soon there, and peace and love to everyone.
Hi guys, as you can see, this Sheyi Emmanuel Adebayo, ex-footballer for Tottenham, Real Madrid, Arsenal, Man City, and so goes on. And I'm just here to tell you guys that, you know what, my fans, I'm going to be right there with you people on the 5th of May. It's gonna be fun, and I will show you my skills, and I will show you the level of football that I am, because obviously I hear you guys are celebrating 100th anniversary. So we have to join hand and have fun together as a family of football. One love. See you guys soon.
Hi, this is Kanu. Yes, ex-Arsenal, FIFA legend, CAF legend, former captain of Nigerian Super Eagles, one of a kind. Yeah, 5th of May, I'm going to be in Grenada. Yes, for the legend game. Don't miss out. All the legends are going to be there. It's going to be fun. It's going to be wonderful.
I'm El Hadji Diouf, former Senegalese player of Liverpool and Bolton. Guys, from Grenada, I'm ready. I will be with you guys for the 100 years anniversary of GFA. May 5th, I will be with you guys. I'm ready, and I have you ready for me.
Keith Fletcher, former Grenada national football team player. I'm hoping that you join me May the 5th as we celebrate GFA's 100th year anniversary. Come make some new friends, see some old ones, enjoy some legends, play some soccer.
Hey guys, Dura here, doing Dura Zero, and I'm looking forward to joining you guys May 5th for this amazing celebration and contribution to many years of football throughout the Caribbean, throughout CONCACAF and internationally. That's May 5th, the celebration of the GFA 100-year anniversary. Me, alongside fellow legends internationally, globally, will be there in attendance, knocking ball and enjoying and celebrating with you guys in Grenada. So come out, celebrate again. Dwayne Dare Zero, former Canadian and MLS legend. Looking forward to a great day come May 5th. Make it a date, don't be late.
Lovely people of Grenada. I'm Anthony Baffo, ex-international of the Black Stars of Ghana. I played in Germany and in France, and I'm looking forward to the 5th of May to honor the invitation of President Marlon to celebrate the 100 years of the GFA. I'm coming along with other legends like El Hadji Diouf, Sheyi Emmanuel Adebayo, Alex Song, and Alhassan Ndour, who have already confirmed they're coming. President Marlon and myself, we are in contact with Michael Asian, Asamoah Jan, and Solomon Kalou, and as well the man who they named twice because he was so good, J.J. Okocha. Hopefully by next week they will confirm they're coming as well. Lovely people of Grenada, see you on the 5th of May in Grenada. Peace and love.
All right, so as the excitement continues to build, we do appreciate those videos from our ex-nationals or legends who will be here. And we continue to encourage Grenadians and those in the diaspora to come out and give your support as we celebrate our 100 years anniversary. So we are pleased to announce that tickets go live as we speak on gotofed.com, and they will be in our centers around the island very soon, and you'll be notified of this on our social media pages. And to get into the stadium, we have some unbelievable prices, and we have the main stand at $80 EC, and all the prices are in EC. The secondary stand will be $40, and the bleachers will be $25. So for those prices of the tickets, we expect a fully stacked stadium, and we may just have to have some availability for persons who cannot come into the stadium to view elsewhere. We want to thank you online, those in our presence, for being here, our esteemed guests. But we want to open the floor for a few minutes for questions from our media houses who are in the midst as it pertains to our Centennial celebrations and the Legends Weekend. So we open the floor for a few minutes, and the questions could be directed to our head table. And you can just state your name and media house and ask the question.
Good morning. All right, good morning, Donisha here from WFM. So I just wanted to know, what can be said about strides made in football over the 100 years?
Over the last 100 years, there's been a significant change in the game throughout the world and in Grenada. We've had so much success over the years from our 1989 team. Obviously, I understand prior to me being in existence, we had some really good Grenada national teams. But in terms of my memory, in 1989, our Caribbean Cup team that came second to Trinidad in the inaugural Caribbean Cup. That's one of the highlights of football in Grenada. Back then, we were top 2 in the entire Caribbean in football. As a small nation, we've been to the Gold Cup on 3 occasions. But also, we'd have ranked 88 in the world in 2011, our highest ranking so far, where we were in the top 100 teams. Out of 206 teams in the world, we were 88 in the world in 2011. So these are some of the highlights. In terms of our players, you know, we've had homegrown players. As I said, Shari Joseph made it to play in Major League Soccer. And we have over probably about 100 young boys and girls who would have been able to use this sport to get scholarships and degrees around the United States at universities, including myself. I would have used football to get my first degree when I got a scholarship to play in the United States. And thereafter, we know there are so many other Grenadians who are, a lot of them still residing in the US in different professions. And thanks to football, that provided that opportunity for them. In terms of on the ground in Grenada, as I said earlier on, there are a lot of individuals in careers in Grenada, in media, in government, in business, that would have been footballers, that would have used whatever they learned, whatever they developed over the years, from grassroots to youth football to school football, to develop themselves, to develop their character, to develop their discipline, to develop their networking skills. What we've seen is Grenada now that have leaders who, a lot of them would have benefited from playing the sport. So I think we've come a long way, not just in Grenada, but football throughout the world. The game has changed so much in the last 100 years. Grenada making it to the Gold Cup, it's a huge achievement where millions of people are seeing Grenada playing football on the world stage. For a small country like Grenada, we were once, just before 2 years ago, we were the smallest country to ever play in the Gold Cup. St. Kitts surpassed us last year when they made it to the Gold Cup. But this is an achievement in itself with 110,000 people and playing in a Gold Cup with the United States and Mexico and Costa Rica with millions of people is an achievement in itself. Jason Roberts would have played in the English Premier League. He started, as I said, when Jason started playing for Grenada as a 19-year-old, he was playing non-league football and eventually grew and developed into a world-class player. So there's so much achievements. Over the next couple of months, we'll be highlighting some of the trailblazers, some of the individuals who have contributed to the success of the Grenada Football Association. And a lot of them are much older than me and will have a story to tell. They'll be able to tell you what happened in the 50s and 60s. Individuals like Dia Marquez, who's my godfather, but I never saw him play. And I was told that he was one of the greatest players in the entire region. Paul Roberts, I understand, was one of the best goalkeepers to date that ever put on the gloves in Grenada. So we have so many individuals who would have contributed to the development of football in Grenada. And over the next couple of months, we'll have them come in and meet you guys and tell the story as to what would have transpired over the years. But also we'll be honoring a number of these individuals who have contributed over the years. Whether they are players, administrators, sponsors, government officials, a lot of individuals who have contributed to making this organization what it is today. We'll recognize them, and you'll hear from them as to how we would have grown over the last 100 years.
Thank you, EFM. Thank you, Mr. President. Any other questions?
Yes, I have a few. Sorry. Congratulations to GFA, 100 years is a great milestone. Just piggyback off my colleague here, you spoke about our FIFA rankings 13 years ago where we was 88. Today you see we are at 174 in rankings. Going forward, what is it that GFA plans to do to better that remedy? I know that was one of your campaign promises coming to ensure that our rankings are better. How are you planning to remedy that situation?
Thank you, and that's a good question. I think Grenada being ranked 74 is unacceptable. 174 is unacceptable. And where we sit right now, we probably 13th or 14th in the Caribbean. I don't think this is a true reflection of Grenada. It might be a true reflection as to where we are in terms of football today, but as a country, Grenada has always been top in the Caribbean, no matter what activity, event, sport we have participated in. I believe our rightful place, we should be in the top 5 in the Caribbean. I believe we should be somewhere around the 100 mark in terms of world ranking. But the question is, how do we get back there? And it starts with the grassroots. We cannot just put national teams out to play and expect results. We have to build back the football. I'm sure if we look around at our leagues right now, from secondary school football to GFA football, I don't think anyone here can sit here and be satisfied with the level of football in Grenada today. So we've lost generations of footballers, and we need to figure how do we build it back from the start. So it starts with the grassroots. As I said over and over, we're not playing enough football in Grenada. A 6-year-old kid in the United States today is probably playing about 100 matches in a year. A 6-year-old kid in Grenada today is probably not playing any football competition anywhere in Grenada which obviously equate to how we do on national teams at 14 and 17 and 20. So we need to have more football at 6 and 7 and 8 and 9. And with more football and more competition, we'll get better players. We'll be able to identify players earlier, manage them, develop them, and then we should have success at national teams. If we look at all the successful national teams in the world, the Ghana with the Michael Essien, etc., the Nigeria with the Kanu, etc., the Spain with the Fabregas, etc., the United States with the Donovan, that group with Donovan, etc. All these teams were very good youth national teams. They were very good under 15 teams that turned into very good U17 teams, that turned into very good under 20 teams, and then they did very well at the World Cup. The Morocco team that's been doing very well recently were very good at youth national team. So we cannot not have good national teams at under 14, 15, 17 and expect our senior national teams to win the World Cup or to qualify for the World Cup. We must have these over, you would see the transformation over the years. Once upon a time, Grenada had one of the best under 19 teams in the Caribbean. We went to Trinidad and qualified for the last round of CONCACAF qualifying in Guatemala. And following that, our senior team came second to Trinidad. Following that, and that was in 1990. Following that, from 1990 to somewhere around, I'll say mid-2000 or so, we had very good football teams. And then we dropped the ball somewhere. Our U20 national team, I mentioned, when Kenwin Jones and his team came to play against Grenada, we had about 25 players in that team that could have probably played anywhere. Andre Charles, our finance manager, was a member of that team. But then we dropped it. So now we have to build back from the start. We have to build back from our grassroots. We need to make sure that every Saturday we have 4,000, 5,000 kids playing football everywhere in Grenada. But most importantly, we need to bring back primary school football. Primary school football has killed football in Grenada because kids in primary school right now at 9 and 10 and 11 are not playing any competition. So the entire school year is surrounded by academics and no football. So we must bring back primary school football. I remember when I was in primary school, the primary school football final at Queen's Park had about 4,000 people watching primary school football finals. Today, secondary school football final, nowhere close to those numbers. So, but back then, primary school kids were showing up at secondary schools immediately and dominating because they were playing a lot of football leading into secondary school. Today, there is no primary schools, the primary school football. And when these kids get to secondary school, it takes them 2 and 3 years to actually start playing football or to learn to play football. So a kid who's becoming good at some point, he's starting to show some potential at 14 and 15, if it is too late. By then, kids are going to Europe to play professional football, and we're just starting off to play football in Grenada. So we must grow the sport from the ground. We must invest heavily in our coaches. We must do as much coaching education as possible so that our coaches can be great, because if we have bad coaches, we're going to have bad players. We must develop our referees, because if we have bad referees, we're going to have bad games. And then we're going to have bad players. So we have to invest in grassroots, we have to invest in coaching education, and we have to invest in referee education and development. And if we do those three together, we're going to have a Grenada national team at under 14, under 15, under 17, under 20, and senior national team, both boys and girls, both men and women, that'll be competing for its rightful spot, I would say top 4, top 5 in the Caribbean.
Yet for we still not seeing it. How is it the association going to remedy that, fix that? Get more, the minister is here, you know. How do we fix that situation? Get more schools playing football?
Well, we must say that this minister is not responsible for the primary school aspect. is the Minister of Education. So when we started off 2 years ago, we had conversations with Ministry of Education, with the GUT, because the GUT also has a stake in primary school sports and primary school football. We need to get everybody back on the drawing board to make sure that we can have a plan for this coming school year. We tried it last year, and it didn't work. But for it to work, we must have all the stakeholders agreeing. I think too much emphasis is focused on students in primary school doing the CPEA. I think we need to find that balance between academics and school, and football, sorry. You know, everywhere in the world, there is what you call a student athlete. But in Grenada, you're either a student or an athlete. We've never been able to combine those two successfully. So what we have is people play football and don't do academics, and people do academics and don't play football. So we need to find some medium where government, Ministry of Sports, Ministry of Education, and the GFA and track and field and cricket and everybody else, how do we sit down and ensure that we can have competitive sports at primary school? A lot of times, you know, presently the only parish that has primary school football is St. Andrew. There is none in St. John, none in St. Mark, none in St. Patrick, none in St. George's, none in... So we need to figure how do we get our primary schools playing football again? Because we're going to lose another generation of kids. You see them show up in track and field, at the inter-primary school track and field, at the private primary school track and field. You see all these athletic kids with so much potential. But we don't do it for football. We don't do it for cricket. We don't do it for basketball. So we need to find a way to ensure that all these sports can be performed, can be played, can be practiced at primary school. So to your question, the answer is that we need to sit down as soon as possible, because school again is going to be starting back in September. We need to sit down as soon as possible with all the stakeholders, all the sports, and the relevant ministries, sports and education, to ensure that we can bring back primary school football as soon as September.
The Legends Weekend, what is the estimated cost for it? Is there a parent fee for all these legends coming in? And is it something that is budgeted with the GFA budget for the year?
We've been fortunate to get the support from a number of federations, confederation and federations to support the Legends Weekend. As I said, Mexico is sending us their players and paying for the cost of the players to come in. The US is doing the same. We've been getting support from CAF, the Confederation of Africa, to ensure that the CAF legends come here. And as the minister said, we're going to get some support from Ministry of Sports through whatever agencies they have, and also through the Board of Tourism, through the Tourism Authority. We're going to get some support. We also have a number of sponsors that have pledged support to the event. What we see this as is an investment. This is not about throwing money after football. We believe there is financial benefits. We believe there is benefits for football. It's an opportunity for all our young boys and girls around Grenada to see the heroes in action. They have never done that before. It's an opportunity for us to highlight our country. It's an opportunity for us as a tourist destination to showcase what Grenada have to the world. So I think whatever investment goes in is a worthy investment that would yield, probably not tomorrow, but will yield for Grenada years of advertising, years of promotion that probably the government would not be able to contribute towards a tourism budget. As I said, Adebayo alone has about 1.3 million followers. And all these, if you add the followers of all these legends, in the hundreds of thousands and in the millions in some instances, you'd see that the reach of this event would be many millions, and not just Caribbean or regular markets as to USA and Europe or UK, but these individuals have fans in every corner of the world. By the time these guys play this game, every corner of the world would know where Grenada is, would know Grenada as a tourist destination. These guys are going to be on the beach. They're going to be in our cultural events at Spice Mass. They'll be meeting our young boys and girls. Every kid who would have seen these guys on TV playing for their favorite teams, Arsenal, Tottenham, Barcelona, Real Madrid, all these guys, some of these guys are connected to their teams around the world. Bolton, so there are teams in Germany and France and Italy that these guys are directly associated with. And once they put on the uniform in Grenada, everybody from that particular team and that city and that country is going to know that these guys are in Grenada. I believe that the investment is an investment that will yield success for Grenada, not just for GFA, but for our country.
That's the question, though. Yes, we understand it's an investment for Grenada, which we welcome and we appreciate. However, there must be an overhead cost. I didn't get a costing towards it. Is there an estimated cost that we're looking to spend? $1, $5? What is the estimated cost that we're looking to spend?
I would not disclose as to how much the organization is spending. As I said, we have contributions from a number of agencies. I'm not sure if they want to disclose the investment. When we put on the event on that day, you'll see all the banners, all the perimeter boards, etc., as to their contribution towards the event. And when that is done, we're going to see as to what sort of investment that can yield. To your question, and I know you want to know if we're going to be spending FIFA forward funds towards this. This is not allowed. I worked at FIFA, so I'm certain as to what sort of funding can be used from our contribution from FIFA, so you can ask the question directly. FIFA forward funds will not be used, cannot be used. I know the rules. So we will not be investing our FIFA forward funds in the Legends Weekend.
Thank you, Mr. President. Hold on, Nisha, we just have time for one more question. So let she ask us and you probably ask yours after we close up the live.
Okay, last question. When can Grenada see the emergence of a professional football league?
For football to grow in Grenada, we must at some point get to some sort of semi-professional or professional setup. Because what we're asking our players to do on a daily basis is to go to work in construction, on the port, in agriculture, and work all day, and then show up for a match or training in the evening. So it's important at some point that we get to some semblance of professional football. But the GFA would not be able to undertake such a task on its own. So we'll need, again, stakeholders. What we've seen in Grenada is we haven't been able to get too much support from corporate Grenada. But for any professional league anywhere in the world, there is a need for corporate sponsor. There's also a need for support from government. There are currently 3 professional leagues in the Caribbean. There's Trinidad, there's Jamaica, and there's Dominican Republic. These are the only 3 professional leagues in the Caribbean. St. Lucia 3 weeks ago, launched a semi-professional league where government would have contributed and the St. Lucia Football Association would have contributed. Government contribution paid the players, and the St. Lucia contribution, the St. Lucia FA contribution, contributed towards the actual operations of the league. And they've just done a pilot, so they just started it. And I'm sure by next year, they're going to take a look at it to see as to how well it is and tweak it and make sure that it's successful. I believe Grenada also can do a semi-professional league, but we'll need a lot of support from the government of Grenada. In Trinidad, The government is heavily invested in the Trinidad Professional League. In Jamaica, it's mostly corporate sponsors. But a small football association like Grenada, a small country as Grenada, a small market like Grenada, I believe we'll have to get some sort of support, financial support from the government to make sure that we can have a semi-professional league. Because presently we have a national team and a number of individuals are unemployed. And we're asking them to come to training every day and train with their clubs every day and then represent the country, but they're unemployed. We have a lot of players that are doing part-time jobs, working at supermarkets, etc., national team players, and making bare minimum. And sometimes they have to choose between making that $1,200 a month and coming to training. Sometimes they have to choose between making that $1,200 a month or coming to training for the national team. And sometimes they just cannot come to training because they have to work. But their work is to sit at the supermarket all day and make $1,000 to $1,200. So we have to provide an avenue. I had conversations with the minister recently. You know, we've had this Imani program for years in Grenada. And we have random kids from around the country participating in Imani. So why can't the government give 100 spots or 150 spots to our national athletes? So if we can give 40 spots to Grenada Football Association, we can have 40 boys and girls training full-time every day, because most of these kids are unemployed, and getting the same Imani money like the regular kid who never represent the country. So how do we get 150 spots allocated to sports? And while we're at the Grenada Football Association, I'm saying sports. So how do we get our best kids that we're going to represent us at Carifta and at the Olympics? How do we get some spots to our cricketers, or under-19 cricketers who continue to do well in Windward Islands and Caribbean competition? And for netball, and for basketball. So how do we create this 150 or 200 spots out of Imani so that this money that government is giving out to individuals every month goes towards investing in our country's athletes? Because at the end of the day, when they put that shirt on, they're not putting on a GFA shirt or a GTA shirt, Track and Field Association, GTA, yeah. They're putting on a Grenada shirt, and they're representing our country. So when our national team players are unemployed and we ask them to represent Grenada, when they come back, they go back to unemployment. But if they're getting the support from the Imani program, then they have full-time jobs where they come in and train every morning. A matter of fact, after they would have trained every morning, we can send them to all the primary schools and do coaching in the primary schools. So all these primary schools around Grenada get a ready-made coach that is already paid for by Imani program, or whatever name this new government is going to call it. So we have to find a way to ensure that our national team players are supported. And if they're supported, we know we're going to get some better results.
Thank you, Mr. Glean. Mr. Minister, the clarion call has been sounded. Our partners, sponsors, we need to get the grassroots going, we need to get primary school football going. Before we come to our final close, there is one question for the Minister by GBN.
Minister Lacroix, sorry. What policies are the government putting in place for national sporting facilities, given the recent outcry by persons regarding the Kirani James Athletic Stadium? You know, what policies you have in place to avoid these clashes with national cultural events, sporting activities, because Grenada plays in June 11th. The field right about now, it looks deplorable. The FA was charged a few months ago for such things. How do we avoid further issues like that?
What I'll say on that at this present time, it's a discussion that we are having.
Thank you, Mr. Minister. The excitement continues to build. I don't want to be remiss of the fact while we just heard the vision of the President and his team for football development in Grenada, primary school, grassroots, competitions. national teams. We don't want to be remiss of the fact that we're here this morning to discuss the Legends Weekend. Grenada celebrates 100 years, and as we continue in the coming weeks, we'll unfold more activities as we start off with that Legends Weekend in celebrating Grenada's 100-year anniversary. That will be going on after the May, right on to December. So as we conclude today's press conference, please allow me to express our profound gratitude to our partners, GTA, the ministry, and all our prospective partners who will be named and published shortly, the media, all our attendees for your support. Your presence and participation are invaluable as we embark on this historic journey, not only in Grenada, but throughout the Caribbean. So we warmly invite everyone to join us in the Centennial Year events and the experience of a thrill of the Legends Weekend, first of its kind. Together, let's celebrate a century of football excellence, and we look forward to a future filled with even more achievements and memorable moments. Thank you all for attending today. I wish you a great rest of the day. Thank you to our head table. Thank you to those online, those in our midst. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Mark your calendars, football fanatics. The GFA is turning 100 this year, and we're ready to celebrate. It's GFA's Legends Weekend, a 3-day extravaganza, kicking off on Friday, May 3rd, and running all the way till Sunday, May 5th. Witness history in the making. The Caribbean taking on the world in a clash of legendary international footballers on Sunday, May 5th at the electrifying Kirani James Athletic Stadium. Get ready to roar with the crowd as iconic legends like Emmanuel Adebayo, El Haj Diouf, Alex Song, Michael Essien, Luis El Matador Hernandez, Shaka Hislop, Asamoah Gyan, Ricardo Bibi Gardner, Russell Latapi, Shallery Joseph, Jason Roberts, Dexter Daps, and a whole host of superstars light up the pitch. From breathtaking goals to unforgettable memories, GFA's Legends Weekend promises an epic celebration of football you won't want to miss. Keep your eyes peeled on GFA's social media for the full squad reveal. GFA's Legend Weekend. Be there.